Good afternoon, everybody. Craig here with Retro Gaming Repairs. I am going to share with you my first attempt at making a silicone mold so that I can make custom jewels for the Xbox. And, I see somebody's in here. Alright, I got chat popped open. If you have any questions or anything, shoot me a message. I'll check it every few minutes. I'm not sure how long this video is going to take. Like I said, I've never done this before. It could take me 30 minutes. It could take me 2 hours. I don't know. I do have fresh battery. And I'm looking for something right now that I could use that is super flat that I could use to press down the clay, because I have to make a flat base. This may work. Cover up my private information on the back of it. Let me see. It's not even valid anyway. It's a, oh well, this is too flimsy. This might work. That is pretty darn flat. I've got an old, I'm stuck. I've got an old cap from deodorant. And I didn't want to make the mold too big, so I found this at the dollar store. It's only about 1.5 inches deep, but as you can see, I don't need anything super thick for this. So when I get some clay in there and put this down there, it will be just big enough for what I need. Now this is only going to make this is only a one-sided mold. I'm not doing the Xbox logo on the back, and that's because I want to be able to do my own stuff on the back, either by dyeing it or having prints behind it. But I think it will turn out pretty good if I can get this done right. I'm going to open up the clay here and take off a chunk and start seeing what I can, how easily I can press this into place. This is a special type of clay that you need to use for doing molds, because it doesn't have sulfur and something else. Sulfur and it's gluten free, and you have to have this, otherwise the silicone will stick to the clay and you won't be able to pull it from the clay once the silicone sets. So you have to have the sulfur free for this to work. Should have probably brought up a kitchen knife. I might actually have one over here. Kitchen knife, kitchen knife. No kitchen knife. Kitchen knife. Nope. I guess I have to make do with this. And what I'm gonna, I forgot about the plastic on the outside of it too. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a base and try to get it as flat as I can. And I'm gonna make a spot on the back, on the sides, to basically form the mold in. It'll be smaller than the actual box that I'm using. Ooh, this is actually really hard to press into place. It's like really heavy duty clay here. It's like what you would use on making like models for skulls, to sculpt out the muscles and stuff like that. It's really hard to do anything with this. I'm putting a lot of pressure on this. But I just want to get a base in here. And then I'll start smoothing it out. And then I will do the walls. Well, I'll do the walls before I start smoothing it out. Yeah, that'll work. It will at least help me spread it. Get a little bit more clay. And you have to seal this back up when you're done with it, or it will dry out. You got to have this flat, where, especially where the jewel's going to be. Otherwise, it will not sit in there flat, and then the mold will be crooked. So you'll have to hold the mold at a weird angle in order to pour it, so that the liquid doesn't tilt out. Because this is going to be a shallow mold, you can't really have any play at all with the angle. But what I'll do is this will eventually go in here like this. Once it's flat, I'll build a wall up around, and then the mold will be just big enough to go around the jewel, and only about a ½ an inch, 3/4 of an inch thick. So now I will make the wall around it. And actually, I can make this taller if I want with clay, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just leave it at a certain height. Hello, Brandon. Brandon. I'm about 7 feet away from the monitor. I'm trying to read it. So this is my first attempt at doing one of these. I may fail on the first attempt, but I should have enough of the mold kit, which was like $50, to try this 3 times. So I'm hoping that I get it right in the first or second try. But if all goes well, I'm planning on using one of these for the Gamers Off the Grid Xbox that I'm working on. And my idea for it is really cool. I hope that I can implement it. I don't know whether or not this is going to work the way I want it to, but if it does, it's going to be pretty cool. And this doesn't have to be perfect on the outside, because it's not the outside that I'm worried about. It's the bottom. The bottom is the most important place to be as perfect as you can get it. And like I said, this is not from my experience. This is what I've been told by somebody else that's done a lot of these. His name is Tim Proctor. He is an artist. He's done a lot of work, really cool work for The Walking Dead with tops and Star Wars stuff. And you really need to check out his artwork. He is pretty damn cool. He was actually a walker on The Walking Dead in the earlier seasons. And he's a really nice guy, and he does some really, really amazing artwork. So I got about half of this done so far. was reading, because, you know, I like to follow instructions. Just kidding, I never read instructions. It just so happens that they put a warning on the top of the lid. It says, you know, shake each individually or stir each individually before mixing them together. So I probably would have missed that had it not been on the top of the jar, and it would have screwed up probably every bit of it in there, because it's probably separated and you need all parts of it for it to set properly. And I probably I would have wasted off the top part of it, and that would have not been a good thing. That would have been $50-something wasted on this kit. Alright, almost done, and then I'll start smoothing. Oh, I like the way this clay smells. It smells almost like cake batter. It's really weird. I don't know if they added a scent to it or if it's just how this stuff smells, but it smells very sweet, like a cake batter. Almost want to take a bite of it, see what it tastes like. We'll save that for another video. But I don't have to make this perfect, just the base. So I'm going to start working on flattening out that base a little bit better. I feel like I'm making pizza. I think this will work pretty good. As long as I can get a fairly flat spot where I can smooth it down a little bit more with water, I think it will be good. See how this sits so far. It fits almost perfect. So I'm trying to flatten out that part, and I can not worry as much about the rest of it, because it's not the surface of the mold that I'm worried about being flat. It's right around and under this. That way the mold doesn't go below that. So it's almost where I want it to be. Just a little bit more smoothing. Then I got an eye to see whether or not it's level. I don't have a level that I can use. I used to have a level, but it's a shop level, and it would never fit down in this box anyways to be able to level the clay. So I have to kind of eye it and feel it. Where's my water? I need water. Give me a little bit in the cup here, because I need to get this a little wet. That way it doesn't stick as much. Alright, I think that's gonna do it. I'm just start going around and smoothing outside. And like I said, it's the underneath and right around it that has to be the best done. And I don't even know if this is going to be flat now. I think I've raised it. Yep, it raised a little bit. But it's pretty much flat now. Use just a little bit of water to give me some lubrication between the top part and my fingers. This clay does not really break down with water. It does get a little easier to work with. But I think this main area should be good enough now. I got a hair in there. I think that should be good enough now where it will sit flat. And it is just sitting very flat. So I'm going to push this in just tiniest bit to get it to stick. So hopefully as little will go underneath it as possible. And I'm not really pushing it like too hard. Like I don't want to make it so that it makes another indentation again. But I just want it enough that it's making a good, solid, firm contact. And now I gotta clean off that jewel because I got clay on it. So, hopefully this will work. Try to smooth out these rough edges so that it doesn't like snag the mold. But I think this is gonna do just fine. Should be a little bit raised near the middle and on the edges. All right. Lift this one more time. Dry off the back. Make sure there's no excess moisture in here. All right. So now that's prepped. I got 2 cups here and 2 bottles of stuff. Platinum silicone rubber. So one is the actual thing and the other is the activator. So I'll get this started by doing this first one. I gotta stir it first. It's too thick to, well, I might be able to shake that. But you want to, on this stuff, you have to use equal parts or it won't work properly. So I'm using solo cups to measure. I should be able to go to that second, maybe the third spot. Yeah, not the second, not the third. I should be able to go to there and have enough between the two of them. Oh, this is super thick. And this thing's only 2/3 full, so I might get 2 out of this if I screw up the first one. And at $50 a kit, that's rough. You can only screw this up once, preferably not at all. Holy cow, that shit's thick. Alright. Who wants to taste some of my green frosting? I don't think any of you want any of that. Alright. Yes, I'm weird. I'm well aware of this. I've been weird all my life, and I embrace it now. Because you know what? I don't give a crap about what anybody else thinks of me anymore. Oh. This one's thick as hell, too. I was figuring one would be thinner than the other. Looks mixed. It doesn't look like there was any separation of anything, but they probably say that just on the off chance that it's been sitting long enough that something has separated. So, throw this in the garbage can so it doesn't get all over the floor. I'm going to do equal. See, that still doesn't look all the way mixed up. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's the liquid. Oh god, it's too thick to shake. It doesn't do anything. Yeah, I think this one looks fine. And these won't do anything until you mix them together. Probably should have had like a spoon or something. I'm going to mix this one up just a little bit more. Because I see some spots where it's like the bluish color, the greenish color is a different shade still. Now it looks a lot better. Of course, I threw it away. Oh. No, not on the floor. Not on the Xbox. Shit. Alright, that's cleaned up. Oh, this stuff's sticky. Alright, so we got 1 part white. 1 part almost a Smurf blue. So, time to mixy. Oh yeah, that's why I need a spoon. Fun times. Alright, let me... Ooh, spatula. This will work. This will help. I don't know how much it'll work, but it'll help getting it out of there. Wee. Oh, well, let's not make a mess, Craig. All right, well, that's as good as I'm getting that. So now we mix this up. And I am not doing that with this. It's too small. And I don't know if this is going to be enough, but we are going to find out. And we are going to find out the hard way. I think this is going to be enough. Just barely cover it, and I'm going to need more than that. Maybe might do better than I thought. Might do a lot better than I thought. So I probably screwed this one up. I'll probably have to come back tomorrow and redo it. But we will find out. Practice makes perfect. If you've never started something, you can never get good at it unless you start it. And of course, I probably should have put some papers down or something to keep myself from making a mess, but that didn't happen. And this is not a quick setting. This takes, I think it says 18 to 24 hours depending on the conditions. So I won't know whether or not I screwed this up. Oh, I screwed my counter up. I won't know if I screwed this up until the morning. So, and I can already tell you that my table is crooked. So this is not a good thing. I got to figure out a way to raise this up. It's a little bit better. All right, guys. I'm going to clean up this mess and start working on another project. Hey, Ryan. Sorry I missed you. I got into what I was doing and I didn't see you send a message there. This is really it. I'm going to let it go for now. And I might release something tonight. I am working on something else right now. So I will let you guys know.